Stay away from me! God!
Even though he felt like they were tied together by fate, this young man was dumped by Momoko Sakurai. The boy didn't go to school for the next few days, as he sulked in his room until he felt better.
Hey, how's your cold?
I'm over it. I'll go back to school tomorrow.
The following day, the young man went back to school. His friends saw him and teased him about being dumped by Momoko. They thought that he might have cut his wrists and asked him to show his.
Ah! What's this?
There were red strings lining up in his wrist. His friends were worried about him, but he insisted otherwise.
Like I would cut my wrists? Where did this come from?
He was still confused even as the class had started. He tried to remove them with a cutter, but he was spotted by their teacher.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
It looks like something. Show it to me.
The teacher was dumbfounded at the sight of the red strings on his wrist, and even more confused when he explained the situation. She tells him to go to the school nurse. In the nurse's office, Ishii told the nurse that his stomach itches too, so he was told to remove his shirt, which revealed. Next, he went to the hospital to be taken a look at by a doctor, but that doctor was also unfamiliar with his situation. That night, Ishii's family had a talk about the red strings. His grandfather realizes what it was. It's a 1,000-stitch belt. He explained it as a cloth adorned with the cross-stitching of 1,000 women, meant to protect the soldier's life. In Ishii's situation, it would be strange as it was grafted onto his skin. His grandfather further explained that these stitches may be the work of Ishii's grandmother. A terrible disaster is going to befall you.
A terrible disaster? To me? What kind of disaster?
Only his grandmother knows.
Alright. Let's see them get me again tonight. When Grandma shows up, I'm gonna tell her to knock it off.
Oh, you're awake now.
Grandma!
I brought my sewing circle from the other side. Now, be a good boy. Take off your clothes and everyone will give you one stitch.
Grandma!
Oh, don't you worry. There are no strangers when it comes to sewing and threads. Now, take off all your clothes.
Ah!
You'll feel a tiny prick, but don't you worry.
Please, stop! Stop!
His whole body was being stitched up by a number of old women, but he suddenly woke up. A dream. It was all a dream. So he went back to sleep. The following day at school, his classmates are all looking at him strangely. Then one of them finally told him to take a look at the mirror. When he faced the mirror, he saw his face riddled with bright red threads. He was sitting inside the campus when someone familiar approached him.
Ishi!
Momoko.
Stop this nonsense! Do you know what people are saying about me?
What?
This whole red red string of fate. You used to tell people that we were tied together by that red string of fate. Now you've covered yourself with red string to get back at me for breaking up with you. Ugh!
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, I just came to tell you to stop it. Goodbye.
Ishii was shocked to know that Momoko was seeing someone behind his back. The futures of the two of them were intertwined with one another by this red string. What would happen if the string was cut? Simple. It will wound itself back up to the respectful owners. As Ishii woke up one day, his body was wrapped full of thread. He insisted to go to school instead of going to the hospital.
My left eye is covered.
Who knows how long the threads of fate are? The only way to return to normal was to get back with Momoko.
What luck! Fate has brought us together again.
Ishi? Is that you? Quit while you're ahead. You're creepy. Stop stalking me. Someone help me.
The woman had some help, but as the man came between the two of them, he was caught by a thread. This thread pulled him to the bundle of thread that was Ishii.
No!
The bundle of thread kept growing bigger and bigger.
I knew that thing he said about threads would amount to no good. I made the right call in cutting it by breaking up with him. Compared to him, this is nothing at all.